The not fun offseason for Padres fans continues today as Jurickson Profar signs with the Atlanta Braves. Jeff Passan reported this. Robert Murray, I believe, was first, so credit to him. He also came through with what the contract is going to be for Jurickson, which is 3 years and $42 million. And the Padres were not going to do that. And it's sad that the Padres were not going to do that. This is a team that was one win away from knocking off the World Series champion and advancing to the NLCS. This was a team that has packed ballparks, the fans in droves. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. We love our Padres. We're going to the ballpark. We're supporting this team. A lot of money going to this team. And yes, obviously, they have financial troubles right now because if they didn't have it, maybe they would have signed. I would like to hope that, yes, they would have made Jurickson Profar a priority and they would have signed him on this contract. Because this contract here, at like what, 14 mil a year, that is a reasonable deal for Jurickson Profar. When he just had an all-star season, he was top 15 in the NL MVP voting, starting left fielder. He was hitting third in the line. Like, this guy, yes, that's a reasonable deal. This is not 20 million, 30 million a year. Totally reasonable, I thought, in my opinion. I thought, yeah, it would be. I was hoping like 3 years, 30 million, but that would be for his market to come down. And even then, the Padres, it doesn't seem like they're going to spend $10 million a year on any player. So how are they going to fill Jurickson Profar's shoes here in left field? He'll be in left field because the Braves do come here to, I believe, kick off the home slate for the Padres in 2025, but it just won't be in the white pinstripes. It'll be in the gray Atlanta jerseys. But obviously, what are they going to do now is a question that I'll get to here in a little bit here in this video. But Jurickson, yeah, he is definitely going to be missed. I mean, I know that there's some fans out there now that they think all the time as how the front office would think. And I do that. I try to do that. But I'm also a fan first. And so I'm going to have my biases towards certain players. I mean, I'm wearing the Mr. Relevant shirt right now. I didn't just put this on. I had it on today. And this happened. So it sucks. Love the guy. That catch that he made against the Dodgers in the NLDS, still in awe of that. The walk-off against the Nats, and then the hit by pitch, Manny homers, and then Profar hits a grand slam in that game too. That was a really fun moment. The Mr. Relevant thing, where Will Smith calls Jurickson Profar irrelevant, and then later in that series, Profar comes away with the huge Sunday Night Baseball go-ahead hit that clears the bases. He just came through in some clutch situations. Obviously, in the postseason, with what happened there, that was like the entire lineup, by the way. 24 scoreless innings to end that series. Yeah, of course, that didn't go the way, the ending did not go the way that we wanted it to. But he's one of the guys that you identify as the heart and soul of the team. When I think of heart and soul of the team, I think of Profar. I think of Jackson Merrill. I think of Tatis. I think of Musgrove on the mound. Like, I think of those guys. And so losing Profar, it's not just big with on the field stuff. How are you going to replace 24 home runs? How are you going to replace a 3.6 WAR? How are you going to replace almost 100 runs scored and 85 ribbies and a 134 OPS plus, a 459 slug? How are you going to replace that? Someone that posts pretty much every day, played 158 games this year. How are you going to replace that in left field? But also, how are you going to replace what he provides in that dugout, in that clubhouse, the passion that he has for the game, the love that he has for the game? Are you going to find that in your next left fielder? We'll see. What's next now for the Padres? I'm looking at the free agents that are available. Could they just bring in Tommy Pham on it? It would be a cheap deal because I'm not hearing of any market for him. He just signed, $3 million in his last deal, I'm pretty sure, on a 1-year deal. So now he's 37. I think his next year, this coming season will be his age 37 season. but there is the familiarity there. He though now Preller loves him, and there's the Pham Schilt relationship there. If that's what they end up doing, I wouldn't hate it, to be honest, because I know there are certain things that I want in players, and if it's guaranteed that it's going to be there, then that makes me less worried about something. He could still not perform, but I know with Tommy Pham that the work ethic is going to be there. It's someone that cares about his production. He seems like someone as well that could be heart and soul of the team as well, and someone that you may want on your team when you're going up against the Dodgers this next season. So he's out there. Jesse Winker, I believe, is already back with the Mets. Ramon Laureano's out there, Mark Canha, Alex Verdugo, but like Verdugo is going to cost more than what the Padres would pay, I would think. Austin Hayes looks like he's out there. To me, when I'm looking at this list, it's like, all right, Tommy Pham or go trade for an outfielder. I saw Bob Nightingale tweet that Bregman's still a possibility maybe for the Astros, and then they'd move Altuve to left field. So would the Padres move Crony to left field if they kept a rise and you have Bogarts, and then maybe you sign someone else there in that infield? If you can't go find that left fielder, but you can find an infielder that you like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen, by the way, but that just thought popped into my head because I saw Nightingale's tweet. Altuve in left field is very hard to imagine. I'd be shocked if that happened. Just like I'd be surprised if Crony moves anywhere to the outfield. But yeah, like, are they just going to go with Turso or Nellis in left field? Because right now, I mean, who would be the left fielder? Would it be Turso, or would it be what's his name? The Rays guy, Mike Brosseau. Would it be him that would be in left field? Brandon Lockridge? You need to be better. You want to do better than that, right? So, yeah, Profar, losing him sucks. I wanted to keep hope that, okay, they didn't sign Sasaki. They're not signing other free agents. They didn't bring back Higgy. Maybe they're saving the money, the little money they have, and they're going to go sign Profar with that money and then fill out the roster with other smaller contracts through trades. But now that Profar is gone, and again, I think that's a pretty reasonable deal for him, and congratulations to him for getting his money, turning $1 million into, over $40 million in that deal, and he gets to be on an NL contender, and he's going to be playing consistently. Good for him. I just hope that the Padres don't face the Braves in the postseason. Hopefully it's Braves Dodgers, and Profar can help the Braves knock off the Dodgers. That would be awesome. Wishing all the best to him. Like, I loved watching him play. And he's one of those guys that I knew that he was going to give it his all. If he played through injury, just the passion of the game, you could tell. So again, how do you replace that? Can you replace that with someone that's available? I don't know totally everyone that would be available on the trade market. That's why I was only bringing up the free agents, because I can see that literally who's a free agent out there. But yeah, I'm just sitting here wondering, where do the Padres go now? Because I wonder, had they stopped communicating with Profar? That's what I'm thinking of right now. Like, did they know? When did they know that, okay, Profar's not going to happen? Was it today? Did they get a sense a couple of weeks ago that there's other teams that are out there? If they were communicating, I think Profar is a Boris guy. When did they get that sense? And I assume that Preller has already pivoted and is talking to teams about trades for certain outfielders. But yeah, this one stings. Not like because, oh man, I was expecting the Padres to pay Jurickson Profar, but because I hadn't heard anything about his market. I hadn't heard at all about the Braves and Jurickson Profar, unless I just totally missed something, until today when he ends up signing with the Braves. But it's a fit. It does make sense. But yeah, I was just trying to keep some faith there because I hadn't heard anything. And it's like, all right, fan favorite, maybe it can come back to us. Maybe his market can come back to us from 15 mil a year to like 10 mil a year. Can the Padres do that? I didn't think it was going to get lower than that. But maybe the Padres could be able to do that. But I doubt that they're going to do that with anyone this offseason. Any free agents, that's not going to happen. Trades, if they're going to acquire a contract, it's probably going to be a smaller contract than what Dylan Cease is making this year, what Luis Ariz is making this year, which is what, 13, 14 million. So we got to be prepared for that. And this is another offseason for AJ and the front office to work their magic. How can they go get cheaper, controllable players? Maybe they're undervalued. Maybe the Padres see that they can do something with those guys, get to work with them, and then they can have a great year. Maybe they find players that think that they can really fit with the Padres and they just didn't fit somewhere else, or they weren't getting the opportunity that they could get with the Padres. What are they going to do? Because you look at other teams in baseball and you look at their outfields and what they have, the Padres still, regardless of who their left fielder is, it's still going to be a solid outfield because you have Merrill and you have Tatis. There are a lot of teams in baseball that would love to have that. But I still think of last year and how big Profar was. The Padres don't win 93 games if Profar's not on that team. You know? So, yeah. Where do they go from here? I look at other outfields, other contending outfields, right? Where the Mets, they get Juan Soto. Again, the Padres, they have Merrill and Tatis. I'm not saying that one person makes the entire outfield, but stars signing with other contenders. You know, the Phillies, obviously, with some of the pop that they have in that outfield. The Dodgers, obviously, with Teoscar and with Tommy Edman and Mookie. Well, Mookie could be at shortstop now. But Michael Conforto they sign, and then obviously the talent that they have, you know, throughout that lineup and the depth that they have. The Braves with what they have, with Acuna coming back, and with Profar, and with Michael Harris, and then obviously the power that they have throughout the rest of the order. The Padres, they beat a beat down Braves team in that in the wild card series. So if they're healthy, that could be a pretty tough test. So yeah. Really all I'm thinking about right now is how much of a bummer this is. It's another kick in the nuts, really. Seeing one of our, I say our, because I think a lot of Padres fans, one of our favorite players. And he really, one of our guys, because like you come at one of our guys, you're coming at all of us. And that's what Dodger fans did when they threw stuff at Profar. And so maybe that's more of a connection that we had to him, because it's like, oh man, really, you're going to do that to our guy? You know, F that. But now he's Atlanta's guy. But he's always going to hold a special place in my heart, in Padre fans' hearts for sure. No doubt about that. Just Jurickson, please don't do too much damage against us.